Let's move on to our next topic here. And we are talking once again about Elon Musk because it has been a relatively slow news week, and Elon Musk is just constantly doing dumb shit. We had actually planned to talk about this topic last week when the news story started, and Elon Musk announced that Twitter was suing advertisers that decided to stop advertising on Twitter, which is maybe the most baby bitch boy move I've ever heard in my entire life. But one of the companies just ceased to exist shortly after that. So everyone was like, is the lawsuit going to continue? And they announced yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that yes, in fact, they are going to keep suing this group of advertisers. It is maybe the most ridiculous law. And there's been a lot of lawsuits. America is just the history of ridiculous lawsuits. But I can't actually believe that Elon Musk would do such a obviously weak sauce thing. Like, this just sounds like something of someone who wants to get dunked on constantly is suing advertise. Even if he's correct, even if this is illegal, it's such a bad optics on him that I'm surprised he would even try and do it. Did you feel similarly, TJ?
So when I first saw it, my first thought was one, hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And, you know, I was one, I'm sure, of thousands of people who shared the clip of Elon Musk sitting in that interview. And it says, if people want to try to blackmail me with advertising, to try to blackmail me with money, don't advertise. Don't do it. Don't. He was like tossing his head like a child when he was saying it. And he said, go fuck yourself. And he was waiting for like an applause line from the audience that never came. And then he said it again more enforcefully, go fuck yourself. And they had like this nervous laughter. And then people went on to do it, and he's throwing a fit about it. Now, the legality of it escapes me, or the illegality of it escapes me, because if I remember correctly, he is suing them on an antitrust basis, saying that they have collaborated to withhold advertising from them, like in a conspiratorial manner. And I was like, well, people don't have to advertise on your platform. I don't really get that. I don't know if you guys are more familiar with this, like if that's actually illegal. It doesn't sound like it is. But like you said, John, even if, let's say it was for whatever reason, it doesn't make you look good. It doesn't, like, people are avoiding your platform for a reason. And just like, this is kind of like off topic here, but you know, what he's done to Twitter is like capital offense as far as I'm concerned. Like I loved Twitter back in the day. I know it had its problems and its issues, but it was a useful platform that you could get news from very quickly. And now it's just, you see like every other post I see is like from Long Knives 1488 Day of the Rope shit. And it's like, okay, it's just a bed of Nazis now. And that's why there's no advertisers on there. That's why nobody wants to be on Twitter anymore, and fewer people are using it. It just seems like this is just the free market at work. I don't understand. Like, what did you think, Sam? Did you ever run across this?
I agree with you with it. It's just a free market. I mean, if you want to, that's the game you want to play. You want to play free market. You want to play capitalism. There you go. That's what happens. I don't think Elon Musk can't come to terms with the fact that he sucks. But where's all the antitrust laws against him with all the stuff he's buying up? And I don't know. I'm exhausted by this gentleman. I'm exhausted by Elon Musk already.
I think I hear him in your background there, Sam.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good.
Oh, she is 2 years old and far more intelligent than that guy.
I was going to say, Lucy can run laps around Musk.
It is great how just breathtakingly unimpressive Elon Musk is. It's just, I love seeing this shit, and, you know, watching him whine and bitch and complain. I mean, it's a lot like Trump in a lot of ways, but he seems more pathetic than Trump. And Trump is hardly a paragon of strength and courage or whatever, but he seems a lot. I would much rather spend an hour with Donald Trump than an hour with Elon Musk. Easy choice, absolutely. I'd be far more entertained. I'll put it that way.
Are those the only two choices?
Yeah, they're the only two choices.
Gun to my head, do I pick Elon Musk or Donald Trump? Can I pick the gun? Is that kind of how we go?
You brought up a good point here, though, TJ, is that I understand. Yeah, thank you. I understand the people who like Trump. I disagree with them. I think they're stupid, but I get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand people who like Elon Musk in the year 2024. In the year even like 2020, it's like you still had a relatively generally good impression of him as a businessman. He's an inventor and whatever. He has so thoroughly, really the whole Twitter saga has so thoroughly and clearly shown that just because you're rich doesn't mean you're good at anything. Like it has been maybe the greatest demonstration against capitalism that I've ever seen in such a public way in my entire life. And he just constantly he just steps on rakes and hits himself in the face over and over again. And I just don't understand why his fanboys constantly take bullets for him. It blows my mind because, again, I get it with Trump. With him, he's just pure loser energy constantly all the time. Gabe, were you, how do I put this? When Elon Musk first hit the scene, I had a favorable impression of him. He's the guy that made the electric cars. That's cool. Like, let him keep going. And then probably around, 2018-ish is when it really started to turn from him in my mind. And ever since he somehow algorithmically radicalized himself on Twitter, he's just been the worst person on the planet. But what has been your perspective on Elon Musk throughout the years?
I think my political consciousness kind of came up as Elon Musk was circling the drain. So as I just became more politically aware, that coincided with him being more and more of a dipshit in public. So I think I remember vaguely liking Teslas a decade ago and thinking they were like kind of cool. But now absolutely hating anything that isn't public transportation. No, it's like I'm obviously labor historian, so my brain is broken and has to look at everything through history. And I just keep thinking about would Vanderbilt or Carnegie or any of these insanely wealthy people from the turn or all of the old barons, if they had Twitter, would they be doing this? And to a certain extent, I think we lost something in society when the old aristocracy died out. And that when you still had the old money of my family has owned this one section of land in southern England since 1070, and it was a gift from William the Conqueror. And when you still had those people around and influencing even American politics, they kept these new little upstarts a little bit in check. And now that we've lost them, you get Elon Musk on Twitter stepping on rakes constantly. So I'm advocating for a return to landed aristocracy, mostly to keep Elon Musk off of Twitter.
Listen.
That's how
Gabe.
bad Elon Musk is.
Listen, Gabe, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that. That was incredible. So there's two things that I want to point out about Gabe's statement there. The first thing, I want to congratulate him on getting the timeline correct with his statement too, where he said that his I've owned this land since 1070 when William the Conqueror gave it my family. William the Conqueror became king of England in 1066, so he fucking nailed that. I want to say that was very impressive. And also this thing with the aristocracy, I've said too, because it's so weird how comfortable I am with that thought, because Yeah, we don't know what Andrew Carnegie's Twitter profile would have looked like. I have a hard time imagining Andrew Carnegie was as dumb as Elon Musk. I refuse to accept that. And I also think, even from an altruism standpoint, I'm not saying Andrew Carnegie was a good person. Elon Musk would have never funded public libraries and, funded institution of fine arts. He would have never done that shit, or he would never do that shit. Andrew Carnegie did. Like, there was still this we're going back to the aristocratic norms of like the noblesse oblige, and like that doesn't seem to exist at all with our current rich people. And
no,
so
TJ, Elon thinks that's what he's doing with Twitter. Like, Elon thinks that's what he's doing.
Yeah. His version of noblesse oblige is they're just helping folks channel themselves into the market, and then that's gonna help with their self-improvement. That's kind of his warped version of it. But the thing that you mentioned about the returning to the landed nobility, and how that might actually be better than the system that this chaos we have here, and it's kind of like the start of the resentment of the rich people in the United States, because something does come along with that. It is a lot easier to defend your position as the person who has all the money, who's in charge. Is like, well, my family has owned this land for 500 years. Other than, I've been here for 15 minutes just like you, and I happen to have more money. It has this weird kind of vibe to it. But say what you want about the medieval aristocracy, but aristocracy, I think, translates to rule by the excellent. I think at least the first person in the aristocracy had to be an impressive guy. He had to actually pick up a sword, get on a horse, convince his friends to fight along with him, defeat an enemy, hold the position, actually set up a system of governance that made sense so that he could have the land, get the food, get the money, get the logistics all set up. The first guy actually had to be someone who could actually handle the shit. His dumbass kid, who knows? But it's just funny seeing that, the system that we replaced it with is just a dumber aristocracy. And I'm not arguing we go back to it, but I see where Gabe is coming from. I don't want to put it that way. I see why he's saying it. I do get it.
There's a secret third option that we could try.
I know, right? It's so weird. How can we? What could this be?
I do also want to say, if I could bring anything from the modern world back into the past, I do want to see the 1920s and 30s on Twitter, because as much as we think we know what online leftist infighting looks like,
God,
I want to see Trotsky and Stalin tweeting at each other.
Oh, that'd be
just
so great.
24/7.
That would be so great.
And yeah, just the insanity of the 20s on Twitter would be a joy to just read through.
Can you imagine if Karl Marx was a poster? If he could just post his thought, like, could you imagine?
He effectively was, but
he was, yeah. But if he could just do it like in real time and shit, I that would be some fun shit.
Actually, honestly, this is some good content. Like, we should, I should make this. That's a really good TikTok idea.
Listen, reading like Marx's letters to Engels are hilarious sometimes. Like, there's this one time when Engels' wife died or something, and Karl Marx wrote because Engels was, bankrolling Karl Marx the entire time, and Marx wrote a letter to Engels, is like, "Hey man, sorry to hear your wife died. You think you can still send me some more money?" Like, it's the next line where he's like, "Send me a little bit more cash." It's like, this guy, grade A poster. He'd have been fantastic. I'd have loved it.
This is why I love this show, TJ, because we started this this topic talking about Elon Musk suing his advertisers, and it just naturally flowed into Karl Marx. What if he was posting on Twitter? All right, you officially did it. You made it to the end of an episode of The Left Wing. Your prize is that you get to hear where you can find our wonderful guest this week. So, Gabe, if people want to listen to the Labor Jawn podcast, where can they find it?
We are available on all major podcast platforms. You can also find us at our brand new website, laborjawn.com, which is LABORJAWN. who are also regularly shitposting and memeing on Instagram. And that the memeing is all Sam. I cannot take credit for any of that. And I think that's really where we are for the most part. We theoretically are on other social medias, but nah.
And stay tuned for our search for Labor John. He's still out there.
I can't wait. Hey, thank you guys for joining us. It's been a blast. Sam and Gabe can be found on the Labor John podcast. We also look forward to having them back on May 1st, 2028, after the kickoff of the general strike. Well, we planned that out, 4 years in advance, but it's going to be a good time. Thank you guys for joining. Catch you next time.